Welcome to another 1 minute waffle from the HanDrinksSolo wine community, this time on the Akkura 2019 Muscat d'Alexandria. Now, this is another aromatic white variety, which means it is often more fun just to sniff than to sip, but luckily this tastes pretty good too. South Africa seems to be having a little bit of a purple patch when it comes to aromatic varieties. So in case you care what happens behind the scenes with the wine fashion police, things like Riesling, Gewürztraminer, Sauvignon Blanc is coming back in, and Muscat d'Alexandria is another one that is just so good to sniff. Okay, now this wine is made by Hanepoort. I'm really sorry to say. I know Hanepoort he's overexposed. He's like Britney in the 90s, but he's just so good, and this is no exception. Now, what many of you may or may not know is that Muscat d'Alexandria or Muscat of Alexandria is also known as Hanepoort. To which most people go, why? But the truth is that most of us haven't really had Hanepoort in a very long time because it was something that perhaps your dad drank at varsity when it was very sweet. So all of this negative emotion that we have built up towards Hanepoort is based on very little. It's not even hearsay. It's kind of like the hint of a gesture of an emotion from a previous generation. Now, when you drink this, what can you expect? Well, there are all those floral, jasmine, honeysuckle, apricot, peach elements. There's even sultana, white grape. I mean, it's kind of awkward that with Muscat you often have to say it tastes like grapes, which is not silly. But if you want to sound cool, you say, there are strong traces of the source fruit, which is a fancy way of saying it tastes like grapes. But there's also, and this is what's very exciting about this wine, a kind of salty, pithy, very textured, chalky element going on. It's hugely dynamic. There's so many layers to it. And again, you can leave this open for a couple of days and it'll just keep on evolving and unfolding. So give it a go. Let me know. Leave a review on the site so that I can see where you are on the issue of Muscat. Lastly, you need to know that Muscat of Alexandria is the only indigenous vitis vinifera grape. So even if you don't like it, don't tell anyone, because we want to be proudly African about this one. There are no other indigenous vitis vinifera grapes growing on the continent. So it would really suck if we were making terrible wines. But as it turns out, this one is rather good.